Lesson 3.5, Interior Angles of Polygons, Part 2. Put today's date if you would like. First thing they want us to do is find the number of sides given some kind of sum or total of the angles. So we're working backwards today. How many sides does a polygon have if the sum of its angles is 900 degrees? So what we learned on the last lesson is that we would take the number of sides minus 2, and that's how many triangles are in it, times 180 degrees. That gives me the total, what did they say? The sum of the angles. So I'll put sum of angles equals this. So to find this, we had to do this, right? Well, this time they're giving us the sum. They're giving us 900 degrees, so that would get plugged in here. It'd be 900 equals the number of sides, we don't know it, that's what they want us to find, minus 2 times 180. And so you've got two options. You could distribute the 180 to the n and the negative 2. I find that to be more work, but you can. Or you could think, I'm going to get rid of this times 180 by dividing it away. And why that works is saying, okay, if I've got 900 degrees, I'm going to figure out how many triangles that makes. So that's why you would take 900 divided by 180. That means there's 5 triangles. Well, I know that the triangles was actually 2 less than the number of sides. So I would have to add 2 to 5 to say that it had 7 sides. And you could always work forward to figure out, did it work, right? 7 minus 2 would be 5. 5 times 180 should be the 900 degrees that it told us. Okay, number 2 is the same thing, so why don't you pause and try that one. I set it up to where the sum goes here before the equal sign. It's going to be the number of sides minus 2 times 180. So I'm going to divide out that 180 again to figure out how many triangles are in that. That would be 22. But be careful, it's not saying that there's going to be 20 sides. It means actually there's going to be 2 more sides than triangles. So that would be 24 sides. All right, then we switch it up just slightly. It says find the number of sides given each interior angle. So not a sum, but each individual angle. And what we did there was we had the number of sides minus 2 was the triangles times 180 degrees for each triangle. Then that got divided by how many sides it had. So this is how we find each interior angle. So they're giving us an answer. Each interior angle is going to be 120 degrees. So that goes in front of the equal sign. Would equal n minus 2 times 180 divided by n. And so I would get rid of division first by multiplying by n. That will cancel out. 120 times n is 120n equals n minus 2 times 180. Now you still have options. You could reduce this. You could divide by 180 and you'll have to reduce. I don't know that I love that. So on this one I probably will go ahead and just distribute. Get 120n equals 180n minus 2 times 18 is 360. And then I'll go ahead and subtract the 180 over. So you can do that in your head. That'll be a negative 60n equals negative 360 divided by negative 60. Negative divided by negative is a positive, which is good. We couldn't get a negative number of sides. 36 divided by 6 is 6. So how many sides did it have? 6 sides. All right, number 4 is just like that. Pause it and try it. I started by saying, okay, each angle is 177 degrees on the inside. That would equal your number of sides minus 2 times 180 divided by the number of sides. I multiply by n to cancel that denominator out. I distributed the 180, and then I subtracted 180n over, which got me a negative 3n, and then I divided by negative 3. So 120 sides, that's a pretty, starting to get kind of circular when it starts to get that many sides to a polygon. And then the last thing is sum of certain number of angles in a polygon. What is the sum of 4 of the interior angles of a regular polygon? Sorry, that should be pentagon. Polygon doesn't tell us how many sides, so let's change that. That should be a pentagon. What is the sum of 4 of them? So we don't want all 5, but yet we're going to have to figure out the individual, right? So we would have to say that it's a 5-sided figure minus 2 would be how many triangles times 180 degrees, and then we'll divide that by the number of sides, which is 5. So 3 times 180 means there's 540 degrees total, divided by 5 angles. Each one is 108 degrees. But I want 4 of those, to take that times 4, and that would be 432 degrees for those 4 angles. And number 6 is the same thing, but it's asking for what's the total of 6 of the angles in a decagon. A decagon has 10 sides. And when it says regular, that just means that all the sides and all the angles are the same. You couldn't do this unless they were regular polygons. So go ahead and pause it and try this one. All right, I set it up. So 10 sides minus 2 would be 8 triangles times 180. It's 1,440 degrees divided by 10 sides means each angle is 144 degrees. 6 of them would make 864 degrees.